Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to another WWE Mattel action figure video. We are going to have a look at the best Daniel Bryan Mattel action figures. And obviously Daniel Bryan is the current champion. He's got a newly designed version of the WWE Championship, the eco-friendly championship that's made out of hemp and wood. There's no sign of that coming into the Mattel line yet, but they're sure to be working on it. It's such a big story. And obviously that heel turn was such a big moment for Daniel. I'm sure we will have a heel Daniel Bryan with that eco-friendly version of the WWE Championship as a Mattel figure by the end of the year. No sign of it yet though, but it's sure to be on the way. So let's have a look, shall we, at the 10 best Daniel Bryan action figures. I've got to be honest, there's not many great Daniel Bryan action figures. I've been quite critical of Daniel Bryan figures in the past because I just think that there's a lack of emotion on some of the faces. I also think they haven't got the beard quite right a lot of the time. So it's hard to find great Daniel Bryan figures. But I've got what I think is the 10 best. Let's start with an Elite. Here you can see Elite Series 32. And that face is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's very stern, very serious. I would love for it to have a little bit more of an expression. But I think the beard is okay. It's just honestly not my favourite Daniel Bryan head overall. But I do like this attire. I love that Wyatt family jumpsuit. This is obviously based on when Daniel was in the Wyatt family. Great moment when he finally took that jumpsuit off, turned on Bray Wyatt. And then obviously we got the Daniel Bryan back that we know and love. That then was part of the build-up towards WrestleMania 30. This is a very distinctive look as a result. And there's a lot of people that aren't sure which way round that jumpsuit is meant to go. I believe that the Velcro is meant to be at the front. There are actual images out there, I think, that came from Mattel, where they'd put it on backwards. Even they got it wrong. Next up, we've got Battle Pack Series 32. This is, again, an okay Daniel figure. Nothing really too adventurous here. But the reason I'm including this is because you get Triple H in a suit, which I think is awesome. Triple H in a suit, that's kind of how we see him most of the time. So you get Triple H in the suit. You get a perfectly fine Daniel Bryan figure. There's a little bit of detail on the ring attire, and you also get handcuffs. And the reason for that is, again, this was part of that build towards WrestleMania 30. This is based on an episode of Raw, March 17th, 2014, when Daniel was handcuffed and beaten up by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Next, number 8. This is the WrestleMania 29 Elite. And this is hard to find because it was one per case. I can tell you this was voted the figure of the year. The best figure of the whole year for 2013 by Grimm's Toy Show. He and his viewers all voted, and this is the figure that came out on top. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan. Again, it's the head. I've just got a real problem with that lack of expression. I just feel like they could have been more adventurous. But I think the ring attire is pretty cool. I do like all the nose, the big no on the back as well. Comes with 2 Tag Team Championship belts. And that's obviously Team Hell No. This is when you had Daniel Bryan and Kane teaming together. And both of them claimed that they were the Tag Team Champion. Next, we've got Elite Series 12. This is a very different look for Daniel. We are going all the way back to 2010, I believe. This is when Daniel had just come out of NXT. and he then went against his pro, the person that had mentored him, who was The Miz. We got Daniel Bryan versus The Miz all them years ago. And this was for The Miz's United States Championship. Daniel Bryan would be victorious, and that's why this figure comes with that US Championship. It's also why he doesn't have a beard. This is pre-beard. This is what Daniel Bryan used to look like when he first arrived in WWE. So just kind of think like they got the likeness captured really well here, like compared to how he used to look. I think it's interesting because it's pre-beard. It comes with the United States Championship. It's an elite figure. There's a lot to like about that. Next up, WrestleMania 30. Best of pay-per-view. This elite figure. Again, it's one that I'm not sold on. It's one that I'm really unsure about because it's got that head again. I really hate that head. But this, I can tell you, on the Wrestling Figure Forum, was voted the best Daniel Bryan Elite out of all of them. And of course it is iconic. There's no two ways about that. This is based on WrestleMania 30. We've seen some figures based on the build-up towards WrestleMania 30. This is a figure based on the actual event itself. And of course, WrestleMania 30, also known as Yeselmania, it's when Daniel won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's why he comes with both of those titles. And it was an important moment. I can see why people were excited for this release and this figure because it pays homage to that. Next up, we've got Elite 68, and this is a forthcoming figure. This isn't out yet. It's a much more groomed appearance for Daniel, but a little bit more expression in the face. I feel like this is a better head than the ones we've been seeing for the majority of this video. As we said, this isn't out yet, so we haven't seen everything that's coming with this figure, but I've seen enough to know that I like the new head, I like that face scan, I like the ring attire. It's based on SummerSlam, which I think was Daniel against Miz at SummerSlam. And also you get hands, changeable hands. So these hands, you can do the yes hand gesture, which is the first time you're going to be able to do that because they've put in changeable hands. That is very, very cool. I'm sure it'll probably come with a Yes Is Back t-shirt or something along those lines. It feels like it does need something else to go with it, so I'm expecting a t-shirt. But yeah, that is a great elite. Number 4 on the list, Basic 66. Thank you, Daniel. This is a very special figure because it was released to pay honor, respect to Daniel once he had retired. Of course, Daniel in 2016 was forced to retire due to seizures that he was having and medical issues that he was having. And so he had to step away. He stepped away for a couple of years, it turned out. We obviously didn't know that he was going to be coming back, so it felt like this could be the final Daniel Bryan figure. And even though he never wore this t-shirt, I just thought it was really nice for Mattel to do this. Put a figure out with him wearing that Thank You Daniel t-shirt. On the back of that shirt is all the championships that he had won, and at the bottom it says Thank You Daniel. I can tell you the back of the packaging as well. It was just like paid respect to him. It was kind of felt like a standalone release. It was a real special figure. Like, if you've still got this in a box, I really feel like this is an absolute must for certainly Daniel Bryan collectors. But it's quite an interesting piece in the Mattel line. Getting to the big guns now. Number 3, the Superstar Entrance Basic. Love this face. I've been very critical of the Daniel Bryan faces, but I love this one. Might be my favourite. I absolutely think it's awesome. Love that shaved head with a beard look. Not normally a fan of painted on shirts because I prefer to have them as a separate accessory. But of course this is a basic, so it has to be painted on, and I just think it really adds to the figure. This is a rare occasion where I actually really like it, and it's obviously got no on the shirt, on the trunks, on the kick pads. I just think it's great. It really stands out. If you'd prefer a basic similar to this that didn't have a painted on shirt, then Basic Series 30 is similar. Just a few slight changes on the ring attire, but it's got the same head. And honestly, I love it. It's got to be the best Daniel Bryan basic. Number 2 on the list, American Dragon Fan Central. Never thought we would get this figure. I don't even think Mattel thought they would make this figure. The only reason we got this figure is because fans voted for it. You lot wanted it. Mattel gave us an option of 3 different figures to choose from, and this is the one that won. This is Daniel Bryan before he was in WWE. This is like Ring of Honor Daniel Bryan. This is Daniel Bryan when he was in NXT. This is American Dragon Daniel Bryan. It's quite a basic figure. I like the head sculpt. I think that's absolutely fine. Ring attire, there's not a great deal to write home about. But the entrance gear, I think, is really cool. I really do like that robe, entrance jacket thing. I think that's absolutely awesome. And honestly, I think the reason this ranks so high is because I never expected it. The fact that you can buy this and put it into your Mattel collection, I never expected to be able to do that. And this is high on my personal wish list. When it comes to figures that I want to pick up, this is right up there because it hasn't hit UK yet. So very much looking forward to that. So that brings us to number 1 on the list, and number 1 is Captain Planet Daniel Bryan. Look at this figure. I am joking, of course. The figure's cool, don't get me wrong. It's an epic custom that's been made. This is actually available to buy on eBay right now. It's from Masked Collectibles V2. And as we said, it's a custom that you can buy. It's Daniel Bryan dressed up as Captain Planet, because of course that's his kind of current gimmick, saving the world, the eco-friendly championship, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I thought that was very, very cool. But the real number 1 is Elite Series 38. It could be nothing else. This figure is just widely loved. I know it has shelf warmed in a lot of places. They made so many of it. They knew the demand was there for this figure. I love the head. I love that expression. I think they really nailed that. I think they did a great job. You get a Yes shirt as well, which is iconic. I mean, that just perfectly sums up the whole WrestleMania 30 kind of era. That t-shirt was everywhere, so that's really, really cool as well. And honestly, I just think it's overall the best figure. There's no other way. I mean, yes, it'd be great if it came with a belt or something, but it doesn't really need it. You know, you're getting the best Daniel Bryan figure. You're getting the iconic Yes shirt. It's the total package, really. I just absolutely love it. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.